I mean, I love YouTube. Who doesn't love YouTube? Now that we're brought,
Who
now
doesn't
that
love YouTube?
we love YouTube. Who doesn't
Yes, we
love
do.
YouTube? But
Love YouTube.
and it may have just been operator error on my part. Why were there no scorch marks on the flying penile? Says Sweet Ray.
Did you?
It like went 10 feet into space.
Right. And then it didn't come back through the atmosphere.
It just
Went to the Karma line.
Just the tip went in and just barely.
Yeah. Duh.
If this is not proof we're living in a simulation, there is nothing that will teach anyone.
Speaking of YouTube, did you see where there was a survey of 2,500 U.S. consumers? And according to them, Netflix continues to be the most popular way to watch video content in the living room. And they asked, the consumers what platforms they use. Okay, so Netflix, 25%. YouTube, 15%. Basic cable, 10%. So...
what's even on basic cable anymore?
Yeah, well, I don't even know. I honestly, I do not know anyone who has it. So
old people get basic cable.
The only reason I have any dealings with the cable company is because they provide my internet, which they charge me $1 million a month for. It's agonizing, but I pay it because everything runs on the internet.
Everything runs on the internet.
Part of the Internet of Things. So
Guns, Beer, and Kayaks just gave us $5. Another tip in the G-string. Without nipples, boobs are pointless.
Thank you. I was not going to say anything until the rim shot actually
He's
happened.
not wrong. Or she. Guns, Beers, and Kayaks. I don't know if that's a she or a he. And how dare, damn it, I don't even know what that is anymore. Usually when we use gendered language,
right.
we have a problem with that because generally we end up having...
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
I miss the Democrat Socialists of America. I miss them greatly. I don't know where they are.
That clip is like 80 years old now, and it
that
still
person's
works
dead
every time.
That person is dead by now,
Absolutely.
which probably, sadly, they might be.
Now don't bring me down.
So they could be. Well, you opened with a damn serial killer. You started with death.
Possible serial killer.
Okay, let's look on the bright side, right? There might be more than one. Because if people have died, there might be more than one killer. We're just the best you could hope for is that there's only one person and that they're a serial killer.
All these people. Yeah,
right.
Killing all these people.
Because you don't want to have multiple targets. Why are there no scorch marks? What they got out of that's why Bezos fell. Original Babe. What they got out of, that's why he fell. That head got him so excited. What are we, 5th grade? Maybe. The door was made in China. A puzzle solver. The extra weight on their heads would cave in their skulls.
Oh, come
Why
on.
Why? Your jealousy is showing. Why weren't they wearing helmets? Because they were in a pressurized capsule. You don't have to. The capsule was their helmet.
They didn't go out of the atmosphere. They just went to the Kármán line, floated around a little bit, came back.
That's it. And Leprechaun, thank you. Come on, folks, hit that thumbs up button. I will when they do something worth it.
And I will say they really have gone out of their way to try to convince us that this was like a space mission. What's her face talked about? What's her name? Alicia Bowie, I think the one engineer. She was talking about how this mattered, and we're testing humans that go into space. And I'm like, okay, well, I get it. You went into space, and I would be cool. And if they had fat guy seating, I would go. But it's not really.
Does it matter?
Space.
Well, it's okay in a sense. I can't believe I'm defending Katy Perry. It It does matter in the sense that wouldn't you rather, if something goes wrong, wouldn't you rather have it happen to them than to you? If you're eventually going to be able to buy a seat on the Blue Origin giant penis, wouldn't you rather know, look, they've already tested it on the lab rats being Gail King and, what'd you say her name? Aisha Bowie? Because I know Katy Perry and I know Gail King and the rest of them.
And Lauren Sanchez.
Right. But the rest of them, I couldn't.
Marriage wrecker, Lauren Sanchez.
Exactly. And fashion faux. I mean, she shouldn't have worn those pants that she wore later, but.
I love how former journalist, shut up. She was a helicopter pilot for Bezos.
How was she a journalist?
She was some kind of news reporter in New Mexico or Southern California for a brief period of time for one of the news stations, I think.
So she was a news reader. She wasn't a journalist.
So she's considered a former journalist. But she's the one. She was married, and so was Bezos when they started taking care of a little business on the helicopter flies. And
how did they do that exactly on the helicopter without?
I don't know, but they did it because that's what.
You can't put a helicopter on autopilot, can you?
Well, she flies one, so yeah.
Apparently so. It does. If you look up Lauren Sanchez, it says American journalist.
Yeah. She was just it was a brief period of time, because she's from New Mexico, I think, if I remember right, and she's like third generation Mexican.
Is she?
Yeah. I remember reading about her a while ago because I wanted to read about the marriage killer, Lauren Sanchez. I mean, good for her. Good for her, man. I'll tell Jeff Bezos right now, if you drop her and you want to send me to space and buy me a yacht, and I'm in. I'm all here for you.
Something she does.
Yeah, I know.
With a little finger.
I know.
Makes it all. Oh,
she's got the guy that was not even her husband yet. They're engaged to be married. Not even her husband yet. Spending hundreds of millions of dollars just to give her a ride into space. Okay.
Ben bought her a yacht. Didn't you say he bought her a yacht?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, when he built his big yacht, his monster yacht, you can't just have one because you want to be able to bring your other boats and toys and rides along. So they built a second yacht, a smaller one, that houses all the toys and also has a helicopter pad on it so that she could still fly her helicopter, which I thought that says love. That's love. Again,
she does something with that little finger that is worthy of a yacht.
At Spectrum, we know life moves fast.
Hang on a second. We got to sit through the stupid thing. But there is a... Oh, I can
Spectrum.
Skip it now.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
There is...
First of all, you look absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Who are you wearing?
Dolce & Gabbana, Lori Rodkin, my
Dolce &
friend
Gabbana.
Rodkin.
Oh.
This is 15 years ago. That's Lauren Sanchez interviewing Al Pacino and some babe.
Oh, there you go.
Both wearing Dolce.
Okay. Best looking couple on the red carpet right here, I think, right?
She looked better
Look at the
15 years
difference.
Do you
ago.
already go home and win?
Yeah. Look at the difference. Wow. She keeps trying. I'm telling you, that's evidence of my 3 cuts to clown face. That proves my point, the 3 cuts to clown face. Because the first one, you love. The first one works great. You love it. It tightened up everything perfect. And you're like, okay, I can make this second one work great. And the second one doesn't quite do it. It doesn't quite match what you wanted. And so you got to do a third one to get you to make the second one better. And that's not quite as good as the second one, which is not as good as the third one. Clown face. 3 cuts to clown face, man.
They're trying to change the meaning of astronauts and space for the future, says original babe.
Maybe.
But they haven't changed the meanings of either one. They're going with technically they went into space because of the Carmen Gia line.
Right.
And technically,
the Carmen line. Don't try to pretend like you're Mr. NASA engineer with
it's
the
the Carmen Gia. It's the Carmen Gia line. I think
I
anybody that
Kármán line. People call it Kármán line.
If you look into the origin of the Kármán Ghia, you'll find out it's the Kármán Ghia line. And the definition of astronaut is anybody who trains. Again, I'm not saying the training stuck, but they did train to be aboard a space capsule.
Yes, they did.
So
yes,
technically, they
didn't
didn't change any. Now, they couldn't keep their mitts off the damn door long enough to pass the test, but they did.
Freaking hilarious.
They did become astronauts.
I know.
By doing that.
I know. Everybody's sick of hearing about it, and I am too. It just makes me laugh.
Yes, the Sweet Ray says this
so
nonsense
silly.
is getting more coverage than SpaceX rescuing the real astronauts stranded by Joey Shitpants and DEI NASA.
I know.
Wow.
I know. I get it.
It's so harsh.
I get it.
And
there's plenty of memes out there with the, the astronauts that were part of the Starliner from Boeing stuck at the ISS for 9 months, looking at the Blue Origin, saying they went into space with the look of yeah right.
Poor
It's
people.
funny. It's
Hi,
funny.
Sue.
I know.
Sue is over in the. We're up on YouTube now. Sorry about that. That was Ron's fault.
Operator.
Yeah, it was. If Ron would just do his job,
man.
hopefully that person
Can't
is
even-
no longer living.
Can't even do it right on Saturdays.
I can't even do it right when he's not here. I just don't. I don't understand. What's the story behind the 300 residents in a small Michigan town helping a bookstore move 5,000 titles to a new shop space?
I just thought this was, kind of nice. Nice story. I wanted to be a nice story since I started off with serial.
Thank you. At least you're trying. That's the important
That's
thing.
why I know. That's why I gave you Don Snyder. I'll give you this story. So this small town in Michigan, this Chelsea, it's right here on the Michigan.
We can't see you. Now we can
right
see you. There you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's right there. Yeah.
Very nice.
In Michigan, Chelsea. And this bookstore in the city was moving. And I guess they had planned on moving for several months. And I guess they're cheap. I don't know if they bought donuts. I don't know if they bought drinks, apple cider, anything. But these 300 plus residents of this small town got together. And this bookstore was moving around the corner. So instead of loading up the books in boxes and then unloading them, they all passed the books from the old bookstore all the way down the street and around the corner and landed in the new bookstore. And I just thought that was, it's a nice little heartwarming story of this small town in Michigan.
Wow. What's that guy doing? What are they doing?
He's making sure that nobody's deep pocketing any books.
They have time to dance? Do these people
they're
not
having
have
fun.
jobs?
That's what I'm saying.
They
Right,
did this
it's
with
just a- it's just a-
9,000 books?
Yeah. It's kind of a cool little thing. Wouldn't you be if you were lived in this town? You'd be a part of it. It'd be fun.
Sure.
It'd be fun.
Why don't you just
See all
hire
the books come through.
Why didn't they just call the
No.
local mover and have them do it?
Because it
Why are they
takes too
stealing
long.
money? Why are they stealing
It takes
business from
too
the
long.
movie? From the local movers?
It takes too long.
Why do they hate small
You know,
business
that's a
in this
good
small
point.
Michigan town?
That's a good point. Actually, it's an unintended consequence. Did you see? Speaking of unintended consequences, and this feeds into that, where San Francisco has actually put a dent in crime. All right, so their smash and grab crimes in San Francisco is down, way down from the last few years.
Because there's nothing
And
left to steal.
The automobile window replacement companies are all pissed because they got no business now. They got no business. That's unintended consequences. Yeah. We're happy that there's no crime, but damn it, we got no windows to replace.
They did not really say that.
Unintended consequences, and that's exactly, you're right with the bookstore moving. Is that unintended consequences? Yes, you're right. It's a cute little story. That's what I liked about it. But they're putting other small businesses out of business.
Think, people. Think before you do, just to get a viral moment on the interweb.
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't have done that
Right.
30 years ago. You would have gotten a front page, maybe a mention on the front page of the local paper.
I know.
And no one would have
I
cared.
know.
And no one would have known about it. And it might have made some feel-good story on the Today Show. But now you do that and you've
Maybe.
ruined it. Now somebody's going to try to one-up them. Now someone is going to,
Oh, yeah.
they moved 9,000. Watch, we're going to move 10,000. And we're going to do
There
it
was
with
no mention of
midgets.
whether it's a record or not. I don't know if there's a Guinness record of moving books. But they should hold it if there is.
You should thank them then because they've given you another opportunity to hold that Guinness
I know.
record. Just saying. You have to look at the bright side too.
You have to. You kind of have to. But again, unintended consequences. Now I'm pissed because we're putting other small businesses out of business.
Let's see. Hold on a second. I brought something. I brought something to the party, but I can't remember what the hell it was.
That's cute.
It was.
I could continue on because I've got a story that made me think of you the whole time I did it. I did it yesterday on Chewing the Fat, but it made me think of you the whole time.
Well, actually, wait, hold on a second. I made myself a note. Where did I put it? I made myself a note. Because I thought, wait a second, there's something here that, and it was, that's right.
That's it. Go back, walk through the doorway, and come back. You'll remember it.
Now I remember.
Okay.
Who is suing who? Oh, I know what it was. It's Greg Gutfield.
Who's suing?
Greg Gutfield.
Yes, thank you.
You
I'm
want
a
to
little
sue
pissed
Greg
about that.
Gutfield?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because you want to sue him because
a listener emailed me and said I should sue the bastard. I believe was the heading of his email that he sent to chewingthefatattheblaze.com. I was just commenting about the story that he was telling me I should sue about.
Because
he
stole from you.
That's correct. He did.
What's the lie?
He did.
Now,
he changed it a little.
Right.
He changed it a little. But the idea is
let's talk about that because I seem to remember on a show called The Daily Mojo, we did something that was, I don't know,
oh my gosh,
exactly like it when we would do the headlines and we stopped doing it.
I even talked about how I did this, What's the Lie, back when I was doing a show called The Fisher Files 100 years ago. And I forget what the name of it was, but I used tabloids because it was back before dinosaurs walked the earth, and there were tabloids and people actually read them at the grocery store, and it was you had to guess whether it was a true story, an actual headline, or a tabloid. What did I call that stupid game show? No. Anyway, but that was the beginning of What's the Lie. So don't even start with
as we all know.
We did it on the Daily Mojo. Shut up,
Your Honor. I would ask
too.
that
I should sue you for that.
I would ask that the defendant pipe down for just a moment so that I can ask the question: is there any evidence that actually occurred? Because if you don't have pictures, we all know that in court, it's not about what you know. It's about what you can prove. And I can just go dig up an episode of the Daily Mojo right now, timestamped prior to, and I can put my hand. My hands are within inches, even here on the moon. I have all of my resources available because we have big hard drives.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So if you get to now, we can come to some sort of a deal. Whereas if you do sue Gutfeld and you get money, if you just want to share a little, we might consider dropping our lawsuit. And look, this isn't me. This is the attorneys talking. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I would never. Look at me. Look at this face. I would not. But people that I have in my employ would, and they.
Yeah. You could talk to them.
I could probably smooth things over in the legal department. I'm not saying.
If you were to get a kind of a successful lawsuit that I filed.
Yeah, I think that I can see making the argument for that. I can see where that might make both parties happy.
I'll put my people in touch with your people, and we'll see.
I think that you know what I think that's that would be very beneficial on both of our parts, and I think that it would be. Hold on a second. I've got the whole. Hold on a minute.
What happened?
I've got to go over here, and I have to.
Because I've got a class action lawsuit to tell you about that I thought about that had you written all over it because it's a car class action lawsuit, and I thought, wow, that's a genius move.
Well, I think that
If it's true,
if
what's being alleged, if what's being alleged is true, wow, I mean that's a genius move.
Okay, I should not be. Yeah, I do get that.
What's your problem?
I'm working on something over here that you haven't seen yet, and
Okay.
yeah, well, at least I don't think you've seen it. All right, this is. Are you familiar with the girl with the bionic arms?
Girl with the bionic arms. That says bionic hands, but
Well,
okay.
she does. She
At
has.
that point, so it's been a journey.
It's been
My
a journey.
bionic
Now,
arms
obviously, you're
changed
creative.
my
You've got
life.
your new bionic arms.
Yes.
I've been watching you on Instagram.
Oh,
Actually,
nice.
it's so interesting. So tell me about these arms that you've got at the moment.
So these are the brand new Hero Pro. We had the Hero Arm, and this is Hero Arm next level upgrade. So they're
That's
pretty
fantastic.
cool. They're still like 3D printed, muscle operated.
let me get
but
that for you.
We've got all
Let
this
me-
extra capabilities now, which is really, really cool.
And Joel, you actually
it
designed these. What got
We
you
got to
into
put a little
bionics?
3-in-1 oil on that bad boy.
I,
though.
well, probably playing with Lego as a child. What got me
It doesn't do anything for phlegm in the throat, but she had her arm.
Open Bionics co-founder Joel Gilbert.
She had her arms, like her forearms, amputated when she was a child because she had meningitis. She was 2. And so she really didn't know anything else in life other than these bionic, other than not
So
having hands.
when she was a little kid, she just had to use her feet. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah, she had to use her. Have you seen the woman who can use her feet to like brush her teeth?
I have,
'Cause
actually.
That is freaky as hell. And I'm not sure I'd want to.
She does everything. She drives. She
does.
She does everything with those feet, man.
And you do wonder. You sit there and you, I wonder, and probably is the answer.
What
But anyway, so this girl, when she's 2, she loses her arms. She's got prosthetic arms, but now she's got, because it's 2025, she has bionic arms and
yeah,
hands.
those are cool.
And
I
they're
noticed
not
when she
cables
reaches
or
for
anything.
something- When she reaches for something, we don't hear.
No, but you do hear. Zzz, zzz.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, you need a little 3-in-1 oil on that bad boy.
What is who was the super villain it was some TV show where every time he would move, you'd hear zzz, and it got distracting. I mean, they made a joke of it being distracting. I can't remember what it was. But
really interested
Hers
in
do the same
technology
thing.
that evolved into electronics and robotics. And then I wanted to do something that would have a positive social impact with technology. So got really
That's
into
hilarious.
bionic hands and
Now she's
prosthetics.
doing it just to mess with him.
yes,
It's like it's
exactly.
interesting
So
to get into. I mean,
Isn't it-
presumably there's a lot of qualifications you need
Oh,
before you
shut
can
up.
start. But
It's
it must be so
TV.
right, I
boring.
mean, just shut up, and let the girl, do
Trying to
the
be
Tilly
so
said-
do the stuff with her hands.
Come
Now,
on so
I
much in
know.
the last one.
Shut up.
the next thing because there's no cables that use it's all brain. It's like Bluetooth. Apparently,
Okay,
it's like Neuralink.
Does she have Neuralink in her brain?
She's got something in her brain that must signal something, because when
Well, did you look at?
when
No,
you
I'm gonna have to
see
look up what the
this
deal is
is
with the bionic arms. Oh,
well
the process.
is more about
You don't
it's
even
more
care
about
about the process.
Nope, I don't. I just because the trick when
got
she
it.
does her
I
trick
got it.
here, it
I get
is
to be bigger and stronger now.
So can you demonstrate a few
Now-
of the things that you can do? Can you
Okay.
can you pick up that glass there?
Yeah, so they're all muscle operated. I can just control it like that. Can do anything I want to do.
And are you doing that?
Break.
I'm waiting.
I wanted to break the glass so bad. I want that to happen right now.
Oh, with your mind, you're just thinking.
I mean, everything ultimately comes from the brain, but what's really great about these is it's just these 2 muscle sensors. So it's only squeeze to close, flex to open, cycling through grip modes, and even that becomes second nature after a while.
Joel, how does the
Right.
what's the mechanics
Now-
of that? Like,
That's unbelievable.
how
Shut
does
up.
that work?
Yeah, it's a good question. So if
Would you stop
basically
coughing?
most of the muscles
She
What's his
can
deal?
move your hand and fingers.
now when I want to get to the part where she does her
Why are we
stupid.
letting this sick host on this show, man? All he's done is cough through the whole thing.
Wasn't it her coughing?
No, it's him. He just got done coughing on screen.
No, it was her. I thought it was her.
So the hand
yeah,
detects
he's
the
giving
amount
her
of
some
pressure,
kind of plague.
and so
He
it will
gave
kind
her
of
the
automatically
He
stop.
gave her the smeg just sitting next to her.
jacked.
Yeah.
But then Tilly's able to give it another signal.
All right, and so when she does this, she
Just help Tilly.
Completely
What's this?
wireless, so you can
Oh,
actually
hello.
just detach the hand like that,
And you're thinking about it.
and I can still operate in it the same way as if it was attached. Make it move.
That is,
It's the Addams Family. I love it.
Is that not the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
That is tremendous.
I have already thought of so many things she could do at a party. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
has
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
seen my hand? And then she could just have it crawl through the door. I've just
Had any mishaps where you've left it somewhere?
Well, I am sure that I will
Where
be
you've
like
left it.
something like that will happen. I haven't had them long enough to make a mess of it yet, but yeah.
Also, the practical jokes and wind-ups, you can use that.
This is, I mean, that is amazing.
uh-huh.
It truly is amazing. And
You've just put fake skin on that thing, and we are in Westworld.
which they have, right? They have the virtual reality skin now.
That wouldn't be virtual reality skin, but that would be synthetic skin. Look, I'm a scientist. I don't expect you, the little
Which
people
they have. Where is the
to
stupid story?
understand.
I've had that story that I haven't been able to get to.
Oh, crap. Damn it, Florida man in Alabama. You're right. I am so sorry. Which means we've got to...
Number 3.
Was that your number 3? No, it was his number 3 story was the mass murderer, the possible serial killer.
Number 3.
That was Jeffy's third most. Now...
I was going to, and since we're doing that, which
Wait
Number
a second.
2.
Hold on, his number 2 story was that...
I forgot.
What was your
Number 2.
Your number 2 story... What was it? What was your number 2? How did we
I was
miss?
going to make it my number 1, but now that it's...
Number 2.
Your number 2 story was...
Easter
that was
story, life. Life.
Number 2.
Was it Easter? That's right. That was John. That was number 2. So, are we ready for number 1 yet? I mean, is it?
I'll give you number 1 if you want.
Number 1.
This is the story I was just referencing earlier that I thought of you. But, you don't have to clap. That was fine. Sit down. Go ahead. Sit down.
I'm looking forward to the number.
Okay, so this
Number
is
1.
Story.
Thank you. Thank you. You done. Get yourself something to drink. Anybody seen my hand? That is, I mean, good for her. Good for her that she's
Right?
that she's able to do that.
I mean,
That's
I want to
tremendous.
see that damn thing
But now I
crawl
wonder how
across
much-
the
I mean,
living room.
I don't know if that's covered by insurance. I'll tell you that.
It actually is. They did go over that. It is by some insurance, which means our premiums are going to go way the hell up. But
Oh yeah.
and her mom works for the company,
Oh,
which is I don't know what the company's
interesting.
called.
The mom works for the company.
Now, we don't know if the mom got the job at the company after she found out they made the robotic hands, was like exchanging
Right.
favors to
Right.
get them a
Right.
discounted price.
I'll do anything you need. My daughter needs these hands. Or
We
arms,
don't know if the
whatever
mom
they
is
are.
hot. The mom may be smoking hot. And in
I mean,
that case,
she's not terrible.
the kid? No.
Yeah.
No, she's cute. I mean, 19
fine.
years old, so I don't feel
Decent-looking
totally
human being.
uncomfortable saying that she's attractive.
Looking human being.
So
She's 19? Is that right?
19, so she is legal.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
don't, like I said, I don't feel completely skeevy,
Okay.
say, okay, she's attractive. The mom may or may not be.
B.
I don't know.
Okay.
But let's just say she is. I mean, it would be,
Yeah.
you have the asset. Why not trade it for something valuable? That's
Absolutely.
what Lauren Sanchez did, and I'm dying
aren't
to know
lying.
the little finger. How many bionic hands could Lauren Sanchez get with her little finger? That's the question.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that anyone does. Okay, so this story, I guess, is my...
Number 1.
Thank you. Thank you. A class action lawsuit. Jeez.
We don't even know. I don't know why they're clapping.
A class action lawsuit filed in California alleges that Tesla vehicles artificially inflate odometer readings by as much as 15 to 117%. Now, they claim that this is potentially to avoid warranty obligations. Yeah. So the case brought by Nairi Hinton claims Tesla's odometers don't use traditional mechanical or electronic systems to measure distance, but instead rely on predictive algorithms, energy consumption metrics, and driver behavior multipliers that misrepresent actual mileage traveled. So he claims that he purchased this used 2020 Tesla Model Y in December of 2022 with 36,772 miles on it, and noticed what he calls suspicious mileage patterns shortly after. So he claims that he maintained a consistent driving routine that should have averaged around 20 miles a day. The vehicle recorded 72.53 miles a day as it approached warranty expiration. Over a 6-month period, he claims that the Tesla recorded 13,228 miles when it should have only read 6,086 miles. So the lawsuit suggests that Tesla is manipulating these readings to prematurely end warranty coverage, which expires at 50,000 miles, to increase repair revenue and accelerate vehicle depreciation. Just let me say that if this is true, it's genius on whatever Tesla. Who owns Teslas again? Oh, yeah, Elon Musk. So according to the complaint, the warranty expired. After the warranty expired, the daily mileage readings mysteriously returned to expected levels despite driving longer commutes. So
I'm curious. How do you prove or disprove this?
I don't know. You have to prove that you, the computer system in the Tesla would document when you drove it, right?
Well, but if you intentionally engineered it so that your odometer is not going to record the correct mileage, you would also engineer it so that it wouldn't record you not recording the correct odometer mileage.
Yeah, you're right.
You'd put in a back door.
So I guess now he claims, again, in this class action, that others have reported similar discrepancies. They have. First of all, I love the predictive algorithms and the energy consumption metrics and driver behavior multipliers. And then other posts talk about miles to electrical energy conversion factor that varies based on road conditions, driving behavior, potentially applying lower efficiency multipliers to aggressive driving behaviors that inflate recorded mileage. So, I mean, it's just the whole thing is really fascinating. I don't know how they're going to end up proving that, but if true, incredible.
I am going to toss a theory out there.
I thought of you. I'm glad, because as I was doing it yesterday on Chewing, I was thinking, I got to talk to Brad about this, because now you're Mr. Car Guy.
Well, here's the problem that I see with this. Number one, so the name of the plaintiff is
Nairi Hinton.
Now, I don't know that this is the same Nairi Hinton, but on LinkedIn there is a Nairi Hinton.
Okay, is he the guy that sued Elon before?
I don't know that.
I don't remember his name.
I will tell you this. Oh, it makes me want to sign. I'm not going to sign it, but it makes. Here's what it says.
Bad enough when you go to the website, man. You're still going to get.
Yeah.
LinkedIn does good work on. You signed into the website. Hello, we're we're here for you.
They chase you like a crazy ex-girlfriend. She is. He. Well. Jeez, I'm so sorry.
Gosh.
I did not mean to, and I can't believe I.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
They,
Thank you.
Nairi, are open to volunteer for these causes, it says under their LinkedIn. Economic empowerment, politics, civil rights, social action. So that's what Nairi is open to doing.
If this is the same
Nairi. If this is the same Nairi. If not, I'm sure Nairi
doesn't make his story not true.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's data product manager.
And the class action, I think, is already filed. It's filed in California already. So
all right. So I'm just saying that he is open for civil rights and social action, which are generally speaking your dog whistles for social justice. Which who hates social justice, or who does social justice and their warriors hate? Orange Man.
Elon Musk, yeah.
And Elon by extension. Ergo, I'm just going to try to put 2 and 2 together in the simplest way I can think of. And this guy hates Elon Musk, and he's coming up with some sniz that he's going to toss at Elon. But that's just me. What do I know? I mean, seriously, what do I know? I know nothing.
Okay.
I don't know anything. I just look
the
stuff
thing is,
up.
in today's world, it does sound believable.
You mean like 6 babes going into space? But no one believes that.
Yes.
Funny how there are certain things that people will believe and certain things people won't believe.
Yeah, no doubt. Now this story makes me laugh because it reminds me that you talk about small businesses. This is it. Now it was posted by Phil Cook, who I love, and he does great work. Who's Phil
Cook?
He posted this saying talking about it's Easter weekend, and he talked about he advises churches, and he travels around the world talking to churches and how they're best reach the people, that kind of thing. And he also posts stuff that's funny. And this is what he posted about the inflatable. And I thought of small business. We were talking earlier how small business is affected, unintended consequences. Right? So, and I'm not sure what the unintended consequences are here, but the inflatable crowd company, I thought that is a good business. All right. And he's making a joke. He's making a joke that, churches could use this for their Easter stadium service. But this company is a specialized firm that provides inflatable mannequins to simulate crowds in film and television productions. Founded in 2002 by this Joe Biggins, the company has supplied inflatable
I'm sorry,
figures.
who?
Joe Biggins.
Joe Biggins?
Joe Biggins, that's his name. That's what it says in the story.
I like Joe Biggins.
That's what...
I've always been a fan of Joe Biggins.
Yeah, no doubt. His company has supplied inflatable figures for over 85 feature films, including Seabiscuit, The King's Speech, and Spider-Man 3. So when you see those movies and you see crowds, this is not now he's out of business with AI though, right?
Maybe. I mean, not immediately, but yeah. But so if you look at because they have faces, so the dummies don't necessarily have faces. Once you blow the dummies,
these are inflatables.
Once you missed my punch. Once you blow the dummies,
these are inflatables. Damn it, they're not dummies.
When you blow the dummy inflatable. Then you have a faceless blown person there. And then what you do is you put then they have faces that they probably don't staple them because that doesn't seem like that would end well. But
no, it does not.
Probably some maybe hot glue, maybe some double-sided Scotch tape. And so you then just tape on
professionals about this. So.
That is, I mean, who sat down and thought of this other than Joe Biggins?
Joe Biggins is the man.
Joe
2002.
Biggins. And he went out and he did, this is a really, really good example of small business in America taking it by the horns.
Thank you.
What we need is blow people, and then we need faces. And he probably, I don't know if he pioneered the rubber face industry or not, but I am
I don't know how much he's got invested in inflatables, but that's awesome.
I'm sorry, you want to order how many blow-up dummies?
Right. You got to talk to Joe Biggins.
I'll bet he does. I'll bet he makes his own blow-up dolls now.
I got to put you in touch with Joe Biggins. Yeah, I'm not. I can't handle that many blow. I can't.
You
can't give you that many dummies, but you got to.
You want them when? I mean, that's genius. He probably ended up buying the inflatable dummy machine and making his own.
Yeah. He's got his 3D printer inflatable dummy machines.
That is
in a warehouse in Nevada.
That is unbelievably. I mean, talk about somebody who just made it happen.
Right.
I mean, he didn't just sit around going, what we should do is make a bunch of dummies. He went out and did it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Who's
awesome.
laughing now? That's what
No
Joe
doubt
Biggins
about
wants
that.
to know, right? I'll bet
Well,
he is a
with
Lawrence
AI,
Sand.
Now
yeah.
he's stuck with
What do you
8
do with all
billion inflatables? Maybe you can recycle. I don't know. Maybe
for sale?
Maybe we're drinking water bottles recycled from inflatables. I don't know.
8 billion extra blow up dolls. That is just amazing. That really, Ellen. And the claps and the cheers are not, they are for Dark Magneto, who gave us another $5. We've made more money than a cheap hooker today.
Wow. When do you say we?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the cheering. It's just so. Can anybody else hear him? Because I can't. I don't know who that is. Whatever that was. Thank you, Dark Magneto, for the and I just wanted to say Dark Magneto has incredibly soft fingers. I didn't even feel them go into the G string. Yeah, that's when and they're warm because it's bad when somebody slides money into your G string and their fingers are cold.
Yeah, it's usually cold in the bar. So
it is. Well, we know why that is.
We do.
Yeah,
it's for the inflatables.
Right. You don't want them to get too hot.
No, you do not.
Florida man in Alabama said Brad's going to hire the inflated crowd to stock his studio audience. No, I just hire AI. AI is
right. That's what I'm saying. So Joe Biggins has got to come up with something else now. Maybe he's made enough money to live comfortably on his inflatable chair that he's sitting in now.
I mean, if you were going, if you just wanted, say, 1 or 2 of those, does he have a minimum number that you want to rent?
I don't know Joe Biggins' business plan, or I don't know how you get in touch with Joe Biggins Inflatable. I'm sure you can find him online. Just type in Joe Biggins Inflatables, and I'm sure we can get in touch with Joe. In fact, it might be fun to talk to Joe.
It really would.
Yes, I know. We should call him.
Let's see. Little Black Book. Industry veteran Joe Biggins joins Stepped Studios as manager of commercials. Managing director of commercials.
So this is like a side gig that he's making billions of inflatables. We got to talk to Joe.
I mean, is that Joe Biggins? Is that the man?
I guess so. That's him. He's our guy.
I mean, how many Joe Bigginses could there be?
I don't know the answer to that, but I bet there's more than one.
I doubt if there's more than one night. What was the other dude's name? Naimi Hinton. Yeah, him. But you're right. When you have a common name like Joe Biggins. When I was in high school, there were 2 girls. They were sisters, and it was Katie. God, I can't remember Katie's sister's name now, but their last name was Biggers.
Because you didn't really care about her.
I didn't really care.
All I cared about was Katie. Yeah.
I just to this day I remember she was. I must have been like a freshman, maybe a sophomore, and she was a year or 2 older. And I saw her walking by the gym, and on the back of her shirt, which anybody would know, that's their name, Biggers. And then, I don't know if I was just being a smartass or if I was really just a dumbass and didn't know that was her last name. And I said, "What's Biggers mean?"
So you got right in with Katie.
I did. I slid into her DMs like nobody's business, and she turned around and looked at me like I had 3 heads, and I was like, "That's my last name," and I just like.
My last name's stupid.
I think she may have even said stupid. I mean, all I can say, it was a good thing back then I was cute because I could get away with it. And I, to this day, do not recall if I was being a dumbass or if I was, just trying to be smarter.
How often did you run into Katie after that? Or did she avoid you?
That's the only snapshot I have of Big. But I remember how many years ago? That was 120 years ago, and to this day, I still remember the story of Katie Biggers. And Katie, if you're listening out there,
Katie Biggers,
right? The story, it's the legend of Katie Biggers,
right?
And they were.
That's going to premiere on Netflix in 6 months.
You know what? They scoffed at Joe Biggins once.
Yes, they did. Now look
And
where
now
Joe Biggins is.
you're
man's in
scoffing
charge
at-
of advertising. Man's in charge of advertising, and he owns the inflatable company that I'm sure his advertising company is purchasing inflatables from his company. It's a good gig. It's a good gig.
Eyes without a face, baby. I mean, very few people know that's where Billy Idol's song, that Joe Biggins inspired Billy Idol.
Eyes without a face.
Right, but initially it was face without eyes, but
Right.
Billy Idol turned it around into eyes without a face.
I mean, imagine having to clothe every one of these damn inflatables for the movies with different shirts and different sweaters. What a nightmare.
And do you put them in before you
in the
blow them
movie?
up?
Are you in the movie business? I sure am. I work for Joe Biggins, and I dress inflatables. What a nightmare job that is. But I'm sure Joe's a nice guy. I don't know what he pays.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know what he pays. You guys done anything in the last 6 months? Nope. No movies have hired the inflatables. I'm just sitting here waiting to clothe the inflatables. I mean, he's got to have a warehouse full of clothes too, right? I mean, holy cow! You got
that's the
different
wardrobe department.
Okay, all right.
That's
so
the wardrobe
theaters-
department.
So the movie theaters have to provide that, but somebody's got to provide the wardrobe. Holy cow!
Not the movie theaters, but the movie.
Oh
yeah. Them.
Yeah.
In movie theaters, you don't see blown up dummies in those.
You might.
do you? I guess you could. Look at the time,
Yeah.
son of a
Yeah,
gun.
you
It
might.
is that time again. I can't believe it's already
Really?
time. Yeah, I mean we've already
Seriously?
gone. Yeah, we've already.
Number 3.
We've already gone through number 3.
Number 2.
We went through number 2.
Number 1.
We went through number 1. All of that excitement. Now it's time for the joke of the day.
All right, well, let's get out of here. Since today's show is Babes in Space, the Babes has been the common theme of the show.
It really has.
I'll give you a joke about
Those babes right
a
there.
woman. As an airplane is about to crash, and nobody wants that, a female, scared out of her mind, jumps up and frantically announces, "If I'm going to die, I want to die feeling like a woman." And she rips off all her clothes and asks, "Is there someone on this plane who is man enough to make me feel like a woman?" And a man stands up and takes off his shirt and says, "Here, iron this."
Even though another exciting episode of Saturday Morning Live is in the rearview mirror, that doesn't mean you can't reach out and get touched by Brad or Jeffy. Send Jeff Fisher an email, chewingthefat@theblaze.com. Follow him on X at JeffyJFR. Buy a cameo from Jeffy. It's not free, but it is priceless. And remember that
Right.
another fantastic chapter of Chewing the Fat drops Monday at 4 p.m. The best way to reach Brad, smoke signals. Or you can email him, brad@thedailymojo.com. Follow him on his socials at Real Brad Staggs. And download the Daily Mojo app. It's in the Apple App Store. And be sure to enable notifications. You're now free to roam about the country. See you next week at the same bat time and same bat channel. I'm not
Yeah.
Stu, reminding you to always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman. And in that case, be Batman.
Batman.